Yes, good people. We back on 20. I was in Greensboro, Georgia yesterday. So you just come back up 20. We're gonna swing through Conyers
With the great Terrence Banks, huh?
and we're gonna holler at my guy, Ryan Andrews, everybody. Heritage High School, the Patriots.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Patriots. Coach, what's good, baby?
Man, it's summertime, so it's hot. It's hot. Doing some running, doing some installing. Taking it day by day, man.
This,
Day
this,
by
this
day.
is what I want to tell people when we got everybody out here. They complain it's hot. It's hot. I'm like, hey, put on shoulder pads, a helmet, some toys. Then tell me about it.
And get on some turf.
And get on some turf. So don't tell me about this. Then you running into people. So don't tell me how hot. I know how hot it is.
And somebody yelling.
That's neither here nor there. Coach, new faces in new places. That's what I like about this week. It's some guys, we know you guys because y'all been around coaching forever, but now you guys are popping up in new places. Tell me about Heritage High School. Tell me about Conyers. Just tell me about your process taking over the program.
Man, I think that whole area, man, is probably one of the best kept secrets in the state of Georgia. The only school people really think about in that area, that New Rock area, is Newton High School.
Right.
But Alcovey got some dogs. Eastside, they in the region with me. They got some dogs. In the same county with me, you got Rockdale. Coach Hannah does a great job. Coach Laws over at Salem. They all got dogs, man. And I think, going to a place like Heritage, you kind of hear about it. For me personally, I was, the universe saw it fit, man. Heritage was one of the schools that was, on my list. I'm not leaving Griffin unless these 3 or 4 schools come open.
Right.
Heritage was on that list, and we went through the process. And so for me, it's just been, not focusing, not even bringing up anything previous to when I was hired. I think those kids went through enough, man, between, one coach being relieved of his duties the week before spring practice last year, then the interim coach, then me. You're talking about 3 voices in less than a year.
Right.
So that's really been my focus, man. Is just not talking to parents, not even talking to administration, not talking to the coaches I kept on the staff that I kept from last year's staff. I haven't talked to anybody about last season. I haven't looked at one drop of film from last season. I know most people, I probably just committed a sin there, but for me, I wanted a fresh start for everybody. So I wanted them kids to feel like they got a true evaluation and an opportunity to show what they can do from the coach that I kept on from the previous staff. I wanted them to feel like, everybody's starting fresh. So we don't about it. And, so far, slow process, but it's been good though.
So let's talk about your coach staff, coach, and everybody. Let's put this out there. I was supposed to be on the coaching staff, y'all. I made a commitment prior to this guy getting a job. I should have got the job 3 weeks before I put my name on some stinking paperwork that I couldn't get out of.
Absolutely.
So I was supposed to be in a Heritage. We gonna put that out there. A lot of y'all don't know that. I was supposed to be his OC, but they were dragging their feet on the job, everybody. So
absolutely,
it was only 2 guys who could get me out of retirement. He was one of them, everybody. So I was that close to being back in high school football.
And job 2 months before they announced it.
Yeah, and that's so crazy. That is so crazy. Cool. Let's talk about your coach staff minus me. Minus me. Talk about your coach staff, Coach.
My OC will be Coach Hafley. He's coming from Florida. He was a head coach in Florida. So he missed spring ball, but he did a good job of getting with the assistants and helping them do the install. But he's here now. He got here on Monday, so he's been here jumping in and going. My DC will be Coach Blackshear, Kelvin Blackshear. He's coming. He was already at the school. So me and him are gonna collaborate on defense to do what we do over there. Um, for those that know me, I would just say this: I'm going away from the 4-2-5 on defense.
What?
Yeah, man, going away for the 4-2-5. So we gonna have a little more flexibility and some stuff we do this year defensively. Linebacker, Coach Blackshear, Coach linebackers, D line will be David Jones. He's coming from Peachtree Ridge. I actually just lost my DB coach yesterday. Honestly, he got a awesome opportunity, man, and I couldn't be upset with them. Just outside of education, period.
Right, right.
So, but that's secondary is the last thing I worry about. So I am looking for if anybody watching this, you certified in PE or social studies, and you want to coach secondary, holla at me. Um, Offensively, Rodney Color, he's going to stay from last year's staff, coach the offensive line. Brandon Jackson's coming over from Cedar Grove. He did not coach football at Cedar Grove, but he's coming over from Cedar Grove. He'll coach my running backs. Steve Chester is a holdover from last year. He'll coach the quarterbacks, and then the guy I always save last when I'm asked this question so far is Quintavious Latrez Houston, coaching receivers, and that's a near and dear one to me because I coached him. He was
Right,
one of the
right.
first year I coached ever in high school football. He was a kid I coached. He was a sophomore at Banneker, and we've been locked in ever since. So to give him his first high school coaching job is pretty dope for me.
I love it. I love it, Cole. You're a defensive guy, so we're gonna start on the defensive side of the ball. And again, up front, shout out Travis Book. Book, what up? What up, T Book? I'm coming out there to KL real soon, T Book. We're
My
gonna pull
God.
up on you. Let's start defense. You're a defensive guy. Let's start up front. Tell me about them monsters that you got in them trenches down there in Conyers.
We're gonna be long, man. Honestly. Right now, if we had to play today, both of my ends would be about 6'3", 6'4". And then I have a nose that's a sophomore, Miles Dixon. He's 6'3", about 260. Honestly, he's probably a guard, but he just like to play defense right now. And then at backer, Kelvin Blackshear Jr. be my Mike. Uh, have two brothers right now starting at my nickel, Sam and my Will. The Joshua and Justice Pollard. And then in the secondary, right now probably go with 3 seniors and 2 juniors back there. Not as long as I would like, but feisty, and we'll be ready to go by the 12th. But defensively, man, what I figured out after my first year at Griffin, you got to have. I figured out I've been spoiled for a long time, and so I started figuring this out my last year at Shiloh because I started to kind of dabble in some eye front stuff. Because I had a kid who's actually a starting defensive end at Wake Forest now, Jasheen Davis. I had a kid that could stand up and put his hands in the ground. So I started dabbling in some 3-4 stuff. Long story short, I get to Griffin and I got spoiled because I had 2 D tackles. So the 4-2-5, everybody that know me, that's what I do. So it ran beautifully. In these last 2 years, we were still good on defense, but we weren't strong in the interior as we were that first year.
Mm.
And, after sitting down with a lot of people that run odd fronts, Brian Lamar, he said it best. He said, "Coach, most high schools have more linebacker DB bodies than they have lineman bodies."
That is true. That is
And
true.
so when I looked at it from that perspective, it was like, oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. So that's why I made the switch to an odd front end. We're gonna do some things that high school football in Georgia hasn't quite seen yet, but try to stay ahead of the curve a little bit.
Forever innovative. That's one thing. I mean, I done coached with you. I done practiced against you a lot of days. So I mean, I know when your brain over there working and your arms folded and you start messing with stuff in your pocket, you up to something. So I mean, yeah, we know these things. Let's turn over to the offense. And with you, you posted a picture during the spring. It's one of my favorite pictures, and it's like a tale of two. It's like you're yelling at your quarterback, but then you come right back coaching them up. So I'm gonna start with the quarterback position with you, coach. Talk about the trigger man down there at
Tyler Ty is my type of kid, man. I'll be honest with you. He is, us South Side kids, West Side kids. We always, when we go outside of that, we always look at it and say, what kid could have played or could fit in on our side of town?
Right. We love to do that.
You know what I'm saying? We love to do that. And Ty is one of those kids, man. He wants to be coached hard. He's more of an athlete playing quarterback. And he just here's what's crazy. He went to camp as a receiver and got his first offer from more
athlete.
But hadn't practiced that, but he's an athlete, man. And it starts with him. And biggest thing I want to get out of him, man, just stay calm, man. Just stay calm. You got to understand who you are in the position you're playing and stay calm. And then from there, we'll go to the running backs. We'll be running back by committee, but we have quite a few people there. Anthony Peters, who's a senior. Tyler Burst, who's going to play some receiver also. He's a junior. Deion Dean, he's another junior. Both of those are track guys. We have a freshman, Miles Mims, who's going to be really, really good. Really
okay.
Good. So we'll get that done by committee, man. And then our receiver got two rising juniors, Zachary Coleman, and Bryce Thomas. Both of those guys are pushing 6 foot, 6'1", long arms. Starting to figure out how to play this game a little bit, man. Got a senior named Jaden Martin who's going to be okay. And then up front, I think I only got one senior on the O-line. There's a guy by the name of Theron Christopher. He played left tackle, but other than that, we going to be young, but we're going to be violent and fast. That's my thing this whole offseason right now. I mean, the weight room's cool. I like that, but I'm trying to be the fastest team in 5A.
Now, was it sort of a shift? You say your new OC just kind of got there, so you kind of got you guys are implementing. So did you do different things in the spring? Did you keep it basic in the spring?
Nah, he was very good at meeting with the boys virtually.
Okay, cool.
So we implemented his system virtually, and then he met with our coaches every Sunday. Leading up to spring and during spring. So it was just an extension of him being there. And then he actually came up for the spring game and he helped back. He called the spring game, matter of fact.
Okay.
So, he just wasn't there for the install. And so, by him being in Florida, they just got out of school last week too. So he missed the first week of summer, which is cool. But again, he's done a good job of communicating with the staff and keeping them, what he wants. And so now that he's here, the little nuances and ins and out that only a coordinator really knows.
Right. Yeah.
His system, so he can go ahead and make those changes, those tweaks that he needs to make for it to run like he wants it to run.
Now let's talk special team, coach. And I would think, well, I ain't gonna say I would think, but we know that 33.33% of the game is special teams, and a lot of things can happen at special teams. I like to tell the story where we 1 week we playing Tri-Cities, and the whole week we talked about how we weren't gonna kick it to old Remarcus. And here come the game. Somebody went in the huddles like, we don't care what we said. We kicking to him. and he returns to open the kickoff 85 yards. Like, there's a reason we say we weren't gonna do it. I know you're not gonna be as hard headed on special teams. Talk about how important special teams are to you in the program, coach.
Man, I coach most of our special teams units. I coach especially our return units.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then like so far, I've been coaching our kickoff unit. Coach Blackshear's coaching the punt unit. And it's kind of a collective effort on the field goal unit. Gonna do some things field goal wise, that'll help us out. Go back to some stuff we did at Old B Town and do some things like that nature. So, but especially, man, to me, I put that as priority. Like we're practicing special teams now.
Right. Oh, and you should.
My kicker's there every day. Chase Butler, he's just a sophomore. Yeah, my kicker got better measurables than some of my skill kids. I'm kicking like 6'2", 6'3", like 215.
I test.
Yes. and can he's doing a very good job. And listening and doing the things that he needs to do. So we're working it now. But we'll do some things. We'll be very good on special teams. Just because of the focus that we'll put into it. A lot of games are going to be won right there or lost for that matter.
But without a doubt. Let me ask you this, coach, because we know that I always like to ask these recruiting questions to you guys because you guys are in the trenches every day, and the more parents hear just different answers from different coaches, because that's really how the recruiting process is. Everybody's story is different. Everybody has a different philosophy of how to attack it, but at the same time, we all have the same goal, and it's putting the kids in the best position possible to earn some money to go to school. What's been the one thing when you met with your parents for the first time that you try to get them to understand about this process, coach?
The most important thing is I can't make nobody offer your kid. But
there it is.
All I can do is send out their resume, and that's the part you control. You control your resume, and your resume is your grades and what you putting on tape. If you ain't making no plays, I got relationships, but them folks' mortgage is on the line.
Right.
So that relationship only gonna go so far.
Right. Right.
But I think the biggest thing, man, is so like for us personally, I took a bus down to the Champions Elite camp at LaGrange.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one thing I told the parents was like, listen, now y'all talk about y'all want to be seen this, that, and third. It's going to be over 60, 70 colleges in one place. I'm supplying the bus. All you got to do is sign up.
Right. Right. So help people understand this, coach, because and I just was fighting this battle with a group a couple of weeks ago. Mega camp versus that one day camp or like an invite camp. And what I was basically trying to tell was like, if it's an invite camp, if your child's been invited, I mean, hey, by all means, go if you got that invite. But a lot of times for the majority, a lot of the kids, the more mega camps you can go to, the more eyes you it's gonna be more than just what like down at Mercer when Mercer had the big mega camp. So many schools, so where you might not catch Mercer eye, but it's somebody eye that you're gonna catch if you're doing the things you're supposed to do. Talk about your philosophy on those, coach.
I understand why people are hesitant to go to mega camps because a lot of times it's just so many kids, man, and especially if you're a skill position, receivers and DBs, man. Good God, it. I get it, but I think where we missed the boat on the mega camps from the parent standpoint is the communication with the coaches, right? So if I'm in contact with a coach already, and I tell that coach, hey, I see that your school, maybe not you, but your school's going to be at this camp. I will be there doing this session. And I think that's where a lot of the boats gets missing. And I still think at the end of the day, the biggest thing that's missing on that people don't understand about any of these camps, man, is if they haven't been in contact with you, they don't know about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then it comes to what can you do at this camp that's gonna set you apart? So like Mercer runs the 40. If you're not prepared to run a blazing 40 time, chances are of you getting noticed are very slim. But I, I tell parents it still comes down to the measurables, the eye test. I don't care. It comes down to that. The first thing they're going to see is when you stand in line at your position, where do you measure up physically to all these kids? Are you a 5'9" receiver or are you a 6'3" receiver? And if you're a 5'9" receiver, are you quick? Are you fast? Can you handle getting jammed? If you're a 6'3" receiver, are you shifty at 6'3", or are you just a guy that's just long? Same
Mm-hmm.
thing at DB. Um, and so I think that now going to the individual camps is cool. Far as the individual schools, but again, if you haven't been in contact with that school, especially a Power Five school, you just going to get a camp T-shirt
It take pictures.
and take pictures. Now, the smaller schools, you'll stand out a little bit more because it's not going to be a lot of kids there. It'll be 100, 150 kids. But if you talking about going to a one-day camp at Clemson, there'll be 300 kids there
Mm-hmm.
with one school. If I'm going to go somewhere with 300 kids, then I'm going to go somewhere with 50, 60 schools.
Right. 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 And that's one of the things I tried to impress upon this particular group of parents, because it's like well, I don't, we want to go do the 1 day camp at Georgia. Then we want to go do the 1 day camp at, and I'm like, I mean, listen, are those schools actively recruiting you?
Correct. They actually,
Have you been invited to like junior day or sophomore day or whatever day they have? Or are you just, like you say, paying that fee, jumping on the road and just going and contributing to I call it, I mean, it's the tennis shoe fund.
yeah.
DAs and those, hey,
The GA summer pay.
that's their summer money.
They
That's
summer
they,
money.
that's their summer money to kick it. I wanted to ask you this about Kanye's coach, because you've been inside the perimeter, outside the perimeter. You've seen it. Is like the training, like how we in Metro, you can get a trainer for whatever you want. You get a trainer. Is the trainer culture, 7-on-7 culture, is it as big in Conyers, or is it that's one of the things you don't have to worry about? Well, my kids, they gonna be at this week, and I see them next week.
Nah, it's not. I mean, we had some kids that played for some 7-on-7 teams, but it's not that big, man. And that's the catch-22 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because in some regards you need it. You just need a
Yep.
different voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just need a different voice telling you pretty much the same thing that these coaches are telling you. And some of them, like for us, I speak specifically for Heritage, our football IQ right now is so low that they need the extra reps.
As many reps as you can get.
You know
It's always no such thing as a bad rep.
They need the extra push because of we only confined to a short period of time to try to get everything done. And I think I've done a pretty good job these first 2 weeks of staying focused on what we need to get done to help us in structure and practice for those 3.5 hours that we're at school on what we need to get done. But in the off seasons where that growth is.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I had this conversation with Kevin Pope and Justin Miller this weekend, and we was talking about just dumbing down how we teach the kids. And I really couldn't understand how much more simple I can make things. Like when you're talking about defensive back, we're specifically talking about defensive back play. Because in my mind, I've simplified it to I got you, I got you, Jay. I've simplified it to the bare minimum of football knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking about cover 2, for example, it's so much I can get into. But in my mind, me just saying, hey, you're the flat defender, you're
Right.
the trail defender,
Right.
you're the short middle defender, whatever you is simple. And they're telling me, nah, coach, you got to make it simpler than that. And I'm like, yo.
Hey, Kona, get what? You stand right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like
from here to here belongs to you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like kids. So like to talk about what Jay was just saying. So when we're talking about football IQ, it's a lot that goes into it, but it goes down to like example, if I'm a corner, understanding the further away the receiver is from the sideline, the more routes he can run. The closer that receiver is to the sideline, he's limiting the routes he can run. Or
I kind of know where he's going when he's standing way out there.
Correct. Or he's making the routes he's run more difficult because he has to run inside to go back outside the closer he gets to the sideline.
Right, right.
That's football IQ. Situations, understanding, hey, we have one timeout. I need to be throwing the ball towards the sideline and I need to be getting out of bounds so we can save this timeout.
Right.
Right. And then just the basics of understanding where is the hook curl zone? Where is the low hole versus the high hole?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean if a DB coach tells you to run to the post? Like, to me, those are simple football terms.
Yeah.
But, Pope and Justin was explaining to me like, nah, coach, it's not even that simple.
Yeah. So, but coach, it's not because like it's a lost art to just kids truly being what we used to call like students of the game.
Correct.
Like you will see a kid, you be like, oh, you know what? One day he gonna be a coach because it's just certain stuff he understands, but it's talking football, it's being around football. See,
correct.
Kids spend so much time doing stuff that don't. And listen, you kid, I get it. I was doing a lot of dumb stuff. Like, listen, a lot of stuff I didn't know that I got to college. Correct. But in attaining the knowledge, it's like as coaches, we're telling the kids, hey, study more, do this. If you really love the game, you're gonna be into this. Hey, listen, ask quick, because I used to hate 7-on-7. But then until I understood the value of 7-on-7, because I was like, well, you know what? It's allowing me to really be with my quarterback and my receivers and teaching them like you were saying, like alignment. Like, dog, why you run away out there? Get what? A smart corner. He gonna be like, okay, the sideline really is friend.
Right.
So get what he gonna do? He wants you to release outside if you way out there. He just gonna ride you on the back. Now his job done.
Right.
So like today, it's getting those reps.
Like today, I just started teaching our secondary divider rules. And understanding the divider is what tells you your leverage.
Right.
Like I understand coverage, and we're in 2-man. I'm supposed to be inside leverage. That's true. But if he's inside of your divider, ain't no sense of you getting inside leverage. Because now he's gonna run away from you. and you got all this space out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's breaking it down. Like I literally had to explain palms today in terms of like a group of us going into a party and seeing a group of girls. Like, yo, that was the first girl you saw. Boom. So that's where your eyes go. But because you really like this girl, you see that one, but your eyes on this one. And if that one choose you, then you let this one go. And then telling that guy, hey, your girl chose somebody else. So you got to go now chase this girl.
Right.
Like, and I got that this week. Literally, I got that this weekend from Justin Miller. Like, oh, okay, so let's speak in these terms now. Maybe I'll get it.
Well,
and understanding those things, man. But that's my next, for me as a coach, my next step as to putting this stuff in real life terms, because they don't, and then connecting it back to
right. And coach, that's coaching.
Terms. Yes.
That's coaching. That's understanding your kids and understand. You know what? I got to talk to them like this.
Yeah.
To get them to understand, and like you say, and it's that connection. You like, oh, and because what we always want to coach, we want that light to come on.
Yes.
So they be like, oh, that's why. And so it's crazy. So my favorite route is that wheel route.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get in this bunch, and I'm gonna run that wheel route at some point because it's stretching out the defense, and it ain't nothing worse than like. Well, it's nothing better as an offense coach when you see a confused secondary and you see them doing, and you like, hey, dog, listen, the wheel route finna open everything up because somebody got to decide who taking that. And all I want to do, I just want to get that safety attention.
That's it.
I want that safety on their heads, like, woo, Lord, I gotta widen out. And it's like, hey, if he don't widen out, it's a touchdown. But if you just give me enough, if I can just get you to open up just a little bit, I got the other guy crossing your face.
I got this post crossing your face.
And I'm just telling my quarterback, hey man, throw that thing to that side of the post. Throw it to that post right there.
That's it.
And it's what you just said, Coach. I love that analogy. I love it. I'm about to steal that too. I'm about to tell Justin, I'm about to steal that. Hey, you like that girl, but hey.
I had to talk to him. Like I said, and I got that from Justin. I ain't listening. As much as I would love to say I came up with that is all Justin.
I love that. I love that, Coach. Last thing for you, Coach, before we get out of here, I'm into the swagger.
Yeah.
I know that you went to the swagger too.
Absolutely.
What you got cooked up uniform wise on there? And don't give me the Johnny White version. Don't give me the Johnny White version. Give me the real. I know you got something for them kids that's gonna get them to get their eyes like this. Get close to game day.
I showed it to them today. We ordered new red jerseys this year. So we got red Nike jerseys, but we got the royal blue numbers though, with the white outline. And we got the Heritage emblem on the V and then Heritage going across. And that's also in royal blue, but then on the sleeves, the 3 stripes on the sleeves are white. So that we ordered that. I gotta order some pants. Gotta order some more pants. But yeah, we slowly but surely, man. We gonna get there. Won't be like I wanted this year, but
Rome wasn't built in a day, quite.
Absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing I learned, man, is patience, man. When I took over Shiloh, I just knew I was gonna fix that like right there. And then we know that story, and it's like, oh, okay. Nah, they have some
but Coach,
patience.
That's a part of coaching. We all have to learn it, because like I say, we have an idea and a mindset, and our competitive, all that thing tell us that, oh, I'm gonna come in and do da 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 da. and then you like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, because it becomes more, and it really becomes more when in your idea you think these kids should know this,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know it. And as coaches, it's on us to give them that and start teaching that so they can become what we talked about, students of the game. So, coach, I know you know this now. I know you know this
I
now.
think for me, like at Heritage, the whoa moment was the off the field stuff. Like we're Nike school, but we only got 2 Nike jerseys, and the other 2 jerseys aren't Nike. One set of game pants. Like,
Yeah,
whoa, I'm out. Like, nah, what are we doing?
yeah, yeah.
Practice pants. Like, nah, what are we doing? Like, nah, that stuff matters too. Like, I want to look good in practice too. Like, what we on? You know what I mean? Just little stuff like that, man. And honestly, that's probably how I've gained their trust and their attention so far. First thing I bought was Nike practice jerseys.
Yeah, yeah. Simple stuff, dog. Simple,
Simple.
simple.
Next thing I did was, or I'm in the process of doing, is just little things that they didn't realize. Like, we had this big old mural in our weight room that a lot of people kind of felt the way about. Okay, cool, paint over it.
Mm, mm.
Get all these signs down, paint over that mural. Uh August 12th is a scrimmage game. First game is August 19th. Um Getting the washing machine fixed. So now I can wash your clothes and you ain't gotta take them home.
No, no.
Um
All those little things matter, coach. And I
you
and I
know what
don't
I'm
think
saying?
people understand it. Like, hey, nothing like having to bring that funky stuff home. But your mama like, boy, yeah, we gotta take this as a wild. Even
Right,
put that stuff in my washing dry. You
right.
not, you
But
not
that's
gonna
what I
do
did. I took everything and took it to a laundromat by my house. It was 230 pounds worth of clothes.
it. A lot of quarters.
I took it to the laundromat, left it there, and I still brought 5 bags home. Like, nah, y'all, I got y'all. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It's a lot of laundry, coach. That's a
not
lot of
laundry.
a lot of
But
laundry,
it,
coach.
but it's simple stuff like that, man. And it's been fun. Like, even now we got this Amazon wish list, and people are buying things. Like, I put some of everything on that
Yeah, you
lotion,
did. I made my order. Your stuff on the way for what I ordered.
soap,
Mm-hmm.
wash.
I saw the list and I was like, nah, this is a great, just another great idea. Great idea, coach.
And it's showing up, and I appreciate anybody. If you've purchased something, man, I appreciate it, because it's, if I want you to shower, okay, cool. I gave you soap, I gave you a washcloth, I gave you a towel, and I'll wash it, because now we got the washing machine fixed. Bands in the weight room so as to continue to improve, what we're doing in the weight room. All those things, man. Food, they eat every day now. They ate breakfast. They thought I was playing, but even for the spring game, I fed them breakfast for the spring game.
Mm.
Um, and then I gave the rest of them to the administration and certain teachers. And I'm not even in the building yet. And I show up game day, and it's, coach, oh my God, like, this is normal though. Like, this is what you have to do to change this culture. And just show them, like, say, ultimately show them you love them, show them you care about them. They'll do everything else for you.
Coach, I love it. Conyers, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got a good one right there. I'm telling you.
Track
I'm
and
telling
ET's
you.
run track already, so I ain't got to fight that.
See what I'm saying? It's just amazing when we just pour that little bit in, like you say, that stuff that you think that should just be normal.
Right.
And to them, it's like, and again, creating culture. One thing I know about you, that's what you do, coach. We appreciate you, sir, for spending
Yes,
time. I
sir.
know you've been out there in that sun all day. It ain't everybody. It ain't hot, y'all. I walk around with sweatshirt on all day.
Oh, I wear long sleeves.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go to boot camp. I'm well sweatshirt boot camp.
Got to get it in.
Whatever. Everybody, that's Ryan Andrews, the head coach at Heritage High School, the Patriots. We'll be down there. I'm gonna get with Jay. Jay say he there. I might jump on in there with Jay.
Come on.
And we coming down 20.
First game is August 19th at Salem. First home game is August 26th against Arabian Mountain. Now, scrimmage game will be at home too against South Cobb on the 12th. So come on.
We there. Coach, have a good one, sir. We appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We gone.